Republicans torch Schumer for keeping government closed until Dems October 18th rally. That's because he knows how violent the Democratic Party really is. And if he opens the government, if he votes to open the government before that October 18th so-called rally or demonstration, then it's going to be chaos out there. It's going to make the party look even worse than what they already are. We all know how violent they are. The Democrat Party is the party of terrorists. They show that time and time again with murdering people that they have different opinions with and trying to assassinate presidential candidates and stuff like that. The Democrat Party is horrible, horrible, and they know this. And Schumer is so shook, is so scared to be primaried and scared of his constituents that he's postponing keeping the government running. He's voting against opening up the government. So we're going to talk about it, but before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. There's a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from the Conservative Brief, and they report that Republicans and Democrats are now both blasting Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer over a plan by the Democratic leader to keep the government shut down at least until a left-wing rally scheduled for October 18th in Washington, D.C. is held. Two of President Donald Trump's cabinet secretaries indicated that Democrats are keeping the government closed so that no King's mass rallies can happen on Saturday, October 18th. The comments are similar to what House Republicans have said, blaming Democrats for the closure that has been going on for 2 weeks. They believe Democrats wanted to keep the government closed until after the protest so they could show party activists that they are fighting back against the Trump administration. And also, I think they're terrified. They're terrified. Could you imagine them showing up to a No Kings rally and voting to keep the government open? Their people, their base will be pissed, and they will be destroying cities wherever this No Kings rally is being held. We know that. They know that. In criticizing the rallies, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said, quote, "No Kings means no paychecks, and no government." Liberal groups have said that elected Democrats aren't doing enough in Congress to stop Trump's changes to the federal government. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy told Fox he expected millions of attendees will be part of Antifa paid protesters. It begs the question of who's funding it. That's what we've been trying to find out over the past few months, is who's funding this stuff. Where's the money coming from? Even though the mainstream media is pretending like Antifa don't exist. But when you go back and you Google, you search, a simple Google search, you type in any of these mainstream media entities, CBS, ABC, and type in Antifa, you'll find articles of them writing about it. But now all of a sudden, they're saying it don't exist. Duffy accused the protesters of dictating the actions of Democrat leaders. Quote, "Democrats want to wait for a big rally of a No Kings protest when the bottom line is who is running the show in the Senate," Duffy said. "Chuck Schumer's not running the show," he said of Schumer. "The No Kings protesters or organizers are running the show." On October 10th, several congressional Republicans referred to the protests as Hate America rallies and accused Democrats of keeping the government closed at the request of activists. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's Hate America. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman voiced criticism of his own party over the ongoing government shutdown, saying Democrats are sending the wrong message in their handling of the budget impasse. Quote, "Shutting our government down, that's the wrong message for the world, for Americans as well, too. I don't care whose that the blame is." It's not about a blame game. It's about opening this government, having this conversation, and literally let's address these kinds of healthcare issues as well too, Fetterman said. Fetterman said he will never support government shutdown, criticizing lawmakers who refuse to negotiate and urging both parties to reach an agreement to end the stalemate. Quote, it was wrong if the Republicans did these things, and I led that charge back in March, saying it was wrong to shut us down, and we kept it open. I said it then back in March that when September comes, I'm going to be the one guy that said it's wrong to do this, he said. Really, the losers are these poor Americans here that are going to get caught in the middle of this thing. I fully support having a conversation about extending those Obamacare tax credits. I think a lot of Republicans might even agree with that too. He said, no, the Obamacare is the reason why healthcare is so expensive. Remember, they told us that healthcare was supposed to go down under Obamacare. That hasn't happened. It's even more expensive than prior to Obamacare. Well, that's a priority for us, and they might agree, but let's get our government open and have the conversation so people can get paid, and we can't have this kind of chaos continue. Since the government shutdown began on October 1st, both parties have engaged in mutual blame. Republicans have labeled the budget impasse the Schumer shutdown, while Democrats have demanded that Republicans and President Trump agree to extend Obamacare tax credits, which are set to expire at the end of the year. So they holding the government, meaning the Democrats, are holding the government hostage because they're not getting what they want. They want to extend Obamacare. That has nothing to do with running the government. You can't shut down the government because you're not getting what you want. That's not how it's supposed to work. Democratic Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada and Independent Senator Angus King of Maine joined Senator John Fetterman in voting for the Republican-backed stopgap funding bill aimed at keeping the government open. The measure requires 60 votes to advance, leaving Republicans 5 votes short of the threshold needed for passage. Wow. So that's the whole deal. You know, they're trying to hold the government hostage because of their loony base. Schumer is afraid to be primaried. He's afraid of the No Kings rally people. He's afraid of. I believe they're gonna torch the place. They would torch the rally if Democrats give in and vote for this stopgap. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave y'all comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Oh, yeah, and also my old channel, Democ Republics. I'm going to start posting some stuff there, but that's going to be just like straight news, no commentary, none of my commentary, really. I might even be using AI for it because it's something quick I can put out there. So be checking out, be looking out for that. Again, appreciate y'all's support. Until next time. Peace.